On this special edition of Lexington Now, Clay's Mill improvements, household hazardous waste, and the MPO Participation Plan. I'm Neil Noah, and welcome to Lexington Now for the week of October 19th, 2020. Another long-term project is entering its last stage, the Clays Mill Road corridor improvements. The project's final phase was announced by Mayor Gorton and other city officials in a press event.
Today is a really exciting day that's been a long time coming. We are kicking off the start of work on the final section of a project we've been working on for quite some time, the widening of Clays Mill Road. The work on this section will begin in the next few weeks, and it is the most difficult phase of this project. Approximately 4 miles from Waco Road to Harrodsburg Road, including this area right here. Neighbors were not interested in a big 4-lane road running through their neighborhoods. A 3-lane Clays Mill lets traffic flow but does not encourage high speeds. We're also making safety improvements and upgrading traffic signals. Neighbors also wanted bike lanes and landscaping. So all of that is included, and we're planting over 250 trees.
During the process, there was a lot of design changes to accommodate some of the issues that we had with Clays Mill Road in the mission statement, and also to listen to the property owners' concerns. Most notably were the concerns about keeping in a bike lane, a landscaping component, and having an extra turn lane at Man of War. So those things were all included. The construction started in 2011. It was a 3-phase project that ultimately cost about $11.6 million, which were local funds, state funds, and federal funds. And again, you can see the result. It's truly a great thing in our community to be proud of. It's a much needed transportation improvement, as we all can agree, especially for residents in the area who travel to work, travel to school, go to church, go shopping, and many other activities.
Everyone who utilizes this important corridor is going to benefit from these improvements. Whether you're dropping your kids off at one of the fabulous schools on Clays Mill, riding your bike down to Southland Drive, or simply using it to get downtown as a commuter road, this is going to be a major improvement to the area. Let's be honest, Lexington's traffic issues are not going away anytime soon. But smart projects like this one can transform the area and do make it safer and more efficient for all types of transportation. Now, for the next year, it's not going to be a lot of fun. If you can avoid Waco down to Harrisburg Road on Clays Mill, please do. Use the other corridors, relieve some pressure on Clays Mill. I'm very thankful for our engineering team who's working hard to make sure we'll have 2-way traffic on Clays Mill the whole time. But I especially want to thank our partners at Clays Mill Elementary, Lexington Catholic, and Mary Queen, and the neighborhood associations who work around that area. We had several public meetings talking about how to make that area safer, essentially the sidewalks, the crosswalks. There are lots of students moving around that space, lots of commuters driving downtown past them. So making that a safer project is really the most important, and I appreciate their input, and I'm going to really appreciate their patience as the next year goes on. The other side of this will be worth it.
I realize that this project has been one that's been a long time coming and has not been without a lot of controversy. That being said, one of the biggest complaints that we receive as council members is about the traffic in Lexington, as well as the lack of safe sidewalks and bike lanes. This project seeks to address those issues and make the Clays Mill corridor safer for everyone. It will make traffic flow better and connectability possible. This whole project has been a labor of love by so many people along the way and along the corridor, including schools, residents, and the city. I want to thank the various city divisions who have worked on this, my predecessors, including Peggy Henson, and CM Masadi and CM Bledsoe for their hard work to see this project become a reality.
If you are looking to get rid of hazardous waste that is collecting in your home, this weekend is your chance. Waste Management is holding its annual Household Hazardous Waste event. Lauren Monahan has the details.
Hi, I'm Lauren Monahan, Environmental Initiative Specialist with Lexington's Division of Waste Management. Today we are out at our event site. This is actually Lexington's old landfill, closed many years ago, that's been repurposed to be a really wonderful large event site. The hours of the hazardous waste collection will be 8:30 a.m. until 3 p.m. We ask that all residents please help us out, help keep everybody who attends safe by remaining in your vehicles at all times. This will be different from previous events in that we want to keep you safe. We want you to keep your windows rolled up. We also want you to load your materials for the hazardous waste collection in your vehicle's trunk. This will make it extremely easy for our employees to help unload. All you have to do is remain in your vehicle, pop your trunk, and we'll do the unloading for you. Our employees will be outfitted in the proper PPE, masks, Tyvek suits, that sort of thing, to help prevent the spread of any germs. So we really look forward to seeing you that day here at 1631 Old Frankfort Pike. So if residents would like more information or guidelines, if you're interested in attending our hazardous waste collection event, you can visit lexingtonky.gov/hhwevent. Now on that website, we'll have a digital survey that you can access. We've had paper surveys available in the past. This year, in order to prevent the spread of any germs and to make the event as contactless as possible, please visit that website. Again, that's lexingtonky.gov/hhwevent to access the digital survey. This survey is required by the state of Kentucky's Environmental Quality Division. They awarded us grant money to help pay for the safe disposal of the hazardous waste collected that day.
After the break, the Metropolitan Planning Organization is looking for your input. Welcome back to Lexington Now. The Metropolitan Planning Organization is looking for your input on its newest transportation plan. Kenzie Gleason explains. questions.
My name's Kenzie Gleason. I'm an administrative officer with the Metropolitan Planning Organization, which is the transportation planning agency for both Fayette and Jessamine County. And we're responsible for overseeing a transportation planning process for our two communities. We gather input from the public and from local officials and incorporate that into our transportation plans for the community, how we're going to invest transportation dollars in our region. So we oversee plans for all modes of transportation. So this would include public transit, bicycling, walking, and for vehicles. So we're interested in, are there gaps in services or facilities that we need to try to improve upon? And we do different inventories and collect a lot of data and perform analysis, for instance, crash data analysis, to determine where we need to make improvements and try to prioritize those improvements. So we produce a 20-year long-range plan for how we plan to spend federal dollars on transportation projects for the area, and then a 4-year improvement program that actually programs those monies for the nearer-term projects that will proceed over the next several years. One of the things that we're tasked with is finding different ways to keep the public informed with what's going on in terms of plans and projects related to transportation, and seeking their feedback on those plans and those projects. So what our participation plan does is it outlines the different methods that we plan to use in order to reach the public and to solicit their input. So one of the main reasons we're updating the participation plan right now is to include the use of virtual meetings as a strategy that we're going to use and that the public has agreed is acceptable to them. It seems, at least in, for instance, our Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee, we tend to have a lot of citizens that are interested in that topic and who attend our meetings regularly. Since we've gone to a virtual format, we've had even more people participating. So while I guess a bit of the silver lining in how things are being managed these days in terms of public meetings is that I think the virtual platform allows a lot of people to be able to participate who maybe otherwise wouldn't have attended an in-person meeting. The participation plan is out currently right now in a draft format so that the public can review what we have proposed and let us know if they feel like there are improvements that we could make to both that plan and the things that resulted from that. We'd like to know, how do you usually receive your information? Or is it more through social media? Is it through traditional news sources and so forth? Are there ways that we can reach you that we're not reaching you now? What are the best ways that we can try to make sure that we're getting the word to you and that you have the opportunity to tell us what you think about the news that we're sharing? Our Transportation Policy Committee is the board that oversees all of the different planning documents and transportation plans for our region. They will approve the plan based on our revisions per the public input.
The input phase runs through the end of October. Students are adjusting to the new normal, but that doesn't mean there aren't still opportunities for involvement. Angie Green Hampton tells us about Partners for Youth's School Year I Do list.
What we do is we compile a list of programs that are happening during the after-school hours. The program list is provided to us by our community partners and program providers. So it gives a list of activities that kids can do after school. It could include dance, computer classes, art classes, different things like that. The list actually started back in 2012, but Partners for Youth started that because with our community partners, we wanted to provide positive youth programming for kids around the city. So we said, how can we get that list out to people? So that's when we started compiling the I Do list, and then we distribute it to the schools, to all our community partners, and they copy or distribute that list to their families and youth. Partners for Youth started in 1995 after the accidental shooting of an African-American male by a white police officer. And the community came together and met with Pam Miller, and she said, we need to provide some positive youth programming for youth. So the mission of Partners for Youth is to provide positive youth programming, prevent juvenile delinquency through collaboration and capacity building. And that's where our community partners and program providers come in. So that's pretty much how the list got started. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get our spring break and summer program list out, but people are always emailing us going, hey, when is your list coming out? Because right now during this, these months of COVID, parents are really looking for things for their kids to do. So we have a list of like free and affordable programs that they can do. It's either virtual, some may be in person with a limited capacity because everybody wants to make sure they're following this, the COVID CDC guidelines. So so we get a great response to that because right now people are saying, hey, what can our kids do? They're cooped up, but at the same time, what could they do to have fun while being cooped up? So that's why we like to provide that list. It's getting a pretty good response. We have stuff like, I have a list of things that the Carnegie Center is offering, like virtual classes. They have hip hop classes, book club, reading and writing classes. We have the art club that is at William Wells Brown that they do, and they're doing some virtual things. We have A Chance to Dance is offering some virtual and in-person classes after school. So our complete list has a whole list of activities all across town. The Lexington Public Library, of course, is, they're offering some virtual classes, after school programs. So that's just really a great thing that people can still do. Well, they can find the list on our website. It's www.partners4youth.org, and it has the complete list. The only eligibility is that you have kids anywhere from elementary to high school that want to be involved in some after-school programs. So, as I stated, some of them are free, some of them are pretty affordable list of programs that are going on around the city. We're looking forward to just providing more activities for the youth, and look us up at partnersforyouth.org.
Most meetings at City Hall are running virtually, and we are bringing many of these meetings to you live. Check out our website for the most accurate and up-to-date coverage of city business. We continue to keep you up to date on how the city is handling the pandemic via our official COVID-19 response site, including test sites. Simply click on the banner at the top of our homepage. That's all for now, but as always, you can keep up with us on social media, check out the latest traffic updates on Twitter @LexRex, or catch our live traffic cams on lexingtonky.gov. For all of us at Lex TV, I'm Neil Noah, and that's it for now.